Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah. A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to HJN. So here today on Honest J. Nowak, let me go on ahead and start talking about some more stuff here. There's lots of new topics that I would very much like to disclose here on HJN. So, essentially, let's just take it on. Today's subject is going to be about disasters, as in natural disasters. Now, for the most part, natural disasters are a pretty horrible way of getting through life. But unfortunately, it's nature that causes them, not necessarily by human error. There were, in fact, some things that have been caused by human error in the past, but for the most part, most natural disasters, like volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, microbursts, tornadoes and hurricanes, flooding, and many more, are all caused by nature. The weather itself is an unpredictable way of going through. But of course, if you haven't seen my episode on weather forecasts, it's basically the best kind of predictions we could ever possibly find. And as a matter of fact, today's technology does allow for the best possible predictions that we could ever get our hands on. It's gotten better today than it ever has been before. But going back to natural disasters themselves, hurricanes and tornadoes, they're essentially the same thing. Hurricanes are super ginormous, while tornadoes are little puny little ones. Tornadoes, though, can be way more powerful than hurricanes. 300 plus miles per hour a tornado could go up to, whereas a hurricane could go way less than that. As for earthquakes, they too are pretty powerful. The Richter scale, though, can always determine exactly how horrible an earthquake could possibly be. No matter how big that the pen jots down on the large sheets of paper based on the rate of the quake itself and the types of tremors that are being detected, we'll always get to know exactly what kind of quakes we're being up against. Volcanic eruptions, however, have become even better because we've been really good at detecting a possible eruption that could come by. In comparison to earthquakes, they're kind of tough to identify. And even more so, it can be difficult to determine the level on the Richter scale to put them on. But as for volcanic eruptions, they can be very predictable at most points. And even more so, we can actually predict when they could happen at any possible time. That's a pretty big advantage for us. We should be able to find out how bad quakes could be, but it's only a matter of time then. As for many others, it's okay. I probably won't talk a lot more about them, but I will get to the point really quickly. Natural disasters. They're everywhere, and they're not going to stop. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't try to survive them. After all, I've been through quite a lot. I've been to Hawaii, which has become the gold mine for volcanic eruptions. I've been through a few tremors in certain areas of the country. I've gotten through some tropical storms in a ways, because I have been to a few states on the coastline, like Carolina and Florida. And let's not forget, especially during the year 2008, that has been the biggest years for tornadoes in my entire life. The tornado level was becoming way bigger in the year 2008, and there are a lot of videos that you could look up right now that date back to 2008. And many of them talk about tornadoes, tornado warnings, tornadoes watch, and many more. I've basically been through quite a lot of them. Natural disasters of many sorts. But let's just see how my future's going to pull off, because I definitely will visit a lot of other places, and they'll definitely be hot spots for some of these other natural disasters when you put it in a viewpoint perspective. But essentially, the future may be unpredictable at this point. So there's no real telling if I'm ever going to be going to these places or not. Only time will tell. But if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.